Welcome back to Cultivating Her, the podcast where we dive deep into women's health, holistic healing, and how to truly understand your body. I'm Christy, your guide on this journey to rooted health. In today's episode, I am talking about perimenopause. All right? Maybe you are feeling off, like your body isn't responding the way it used to. Like it's a little off. Your period's unpredictable. Your body's unpredictable. Sleep feels impossible. Your mood swings are next level, and you're wondering, am I going effing crazy? Well, let me tell you, you're not crazy. You're just experiencing the grand transition known as perimenopause. And today we are unlocking the wisdom behind all of it. Okay, we're going to talk about what's happening in your body, how to recognize signs and symptoms before they throw you off track. And then I'm going to give you some holistic strategies to balance fluctuating estrogen and support your body through the transition. So grab your favorite beverage, take a giant breath, and let's dive in. Welcome to Cultivating Her, breaking taboos, balancing hormones, and redefining women's health. I'm your host, Christy Edgar, an integrative nutrition health coach and holistic lifestyle expert. Join me as we dive into the world of menstrual health, hormone balance, and the connection to women's wellness. Whether you're looking to decode your cycle, tackle PMS, or manage menopause, this show is your go-to to syncing your lifestyle with your hormonal rhythms. Through candid conversations, practical tips, and a few expert interviews, Cultivating Her empowers women to embrace their cycles and align their lifestyle to boost energy and thrive in every phase of life. Subscribe now and start flowing with confidence as we redefine what it means to be a woman with harmonious health. Hey friends, welcome back to the podcast. Today we are talking about perimenopause. What is it? What defines it? What is going on? And why, for the love of God, does it make us feel so awful? All right, so perimenopause is often called the menopausal transition. All right, and this is a phrase for what is leading up to menopause. A woman's body starts to shift hormonally, and it marks the end of our reproductive years. It typically begins in your 40s, but it can start earlier because of extenuating circumstances with some of the things that I'm going to talk to you about today. Menopause is defined as 12 consecutive months without a period. Okay? So what's happening? What is going on during this crazy time? That could be a decade, it could be 3 years, it could be 5 years, but they typically say about 10 years, which is insanity, right? That we don't talk about this more often. It takes up 10 years of our life, but we don't ever talk about it. All right. So it's characterized by fluctuating hormone levels, particularly estrogen and progesterone, which directly impact our cycle. Also impact our brain function, our metabolism, and our overall well-being. So, unlike puberty, where hormones are gradually increasing, perimenopause is like a roller coaster. Hormones are all over the place. Estrogen levels can spike unpredictably one month and then plummet the next. Some months you feel totally fine, and then the next your body feels completely foreign to you. Am I ringing any bells? All right, here's why. Estrogen isn't declining in a straight line. It's spiking and dropping unpredictably. So instead of a gradual decline, the levels swing wildly, sometimes higher than when we were in our 20s, and then sometimes dropping suddenly. It doesn't make for a real fun time. Now, progesterone is quietly declining in the background. Progesterone affects our mood, our sleep, and our ability to handle stress. Progesterone is also a precursor for GABA, which keeps us feeling calm. It also balances estrogen and supports brain function, digestion, sleep, and it's steadily decreasing as we go through perimenopause. This leads to symptoms like insomnia and anxiety and irregular cycles. We should be very, very sorry that we ever took this lovely hormone for granted. What else is happening? Our cortisol sensitivity is increasing. So our body becomes less resilient to stress, which can exacerbate perimenopause symptoms. Our metabolism is also shifting. So you might notice the weight gain around the midsection, the menopause tire, right? Even when your diet and your exercise haven't changed at all, right? Like you haven't done a single thing different. You're eating the same, you're doing the same exercises, everything is the same, and you're like, what in the crap is going on? So this is due to changes in insulin sensitivity. So blood sugar becomes harder to regulate, contributing to weight gain, especially around that midsection. It's also because of the way that we're eating and the food pyramid that we had and, the processed food that we're indulging in. All of that is affecting our blood glucose level. And so that's a major, major issue because remember, estrogen likes level glucose. So estrogen is already on a wild ride. If we can't keep our glucose under control, that's going to exacerbate things significantly. Okay. The other thing is our brains are rewiring themselves. So Lisa Mosconi, a neuroscientist that wrote the book, The XX Brain, she's shown that estrogen is crucial for cognitive function. So when it fluctuates, women often experience brain fog and forgetfulness. Any of this sounding familiar? You're not alone. But there's good news. There are ways to support your body through that. So let's talk symptoms because perimenopause doesn't always show up with a flashing neon sign that says, hey, I'm here, you're in perimenopause. And your doctor definitely isn't going to tell you that. Not all women experience perimenopause in the same way, but some of the symptoms include menstrual changes. Like 1 month your cycle is 24 and the next day it's 40. One time it's 32 and the other it's 87. So irregular periods, whether they're shorter, longer, heavier, or lighter, and then skipped cycles or closer together cycles. Also, changes in PMS symptoms are a sign that you may be perimenopausal. So if you start having cramps out of nowhere or your boobs start to hurt, which they never did before, like that could be a sign that there's something else going on. So brain and mood symptoms, like you cry at a commercial, but feel totally irritable an hour later. You walk into a room and you forget why, which is a classic move, right? So we have brain fog and forgetfulness and trouble concentrating. We have increased anxiety or depression, and we don't know why. We have mood swings and irritability for no apparent reason. And we have a lower stress resilience. Okay, I have noticed this myself where things that normally would not bother me at all are like grating on my nerves like nails on a chalkboard. It is infuriating. Okay, so back to Lisa Mosconi, we don't feel like ourselves. This is due to these changes in neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. But the brain adapts, and the postmenopausal women often experience renewed clarity and focus based off of this study that Lisa Mosconi did. You could read her book. It was phenomenal. So sleep disruptions are another sign. Hello, 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling. Anyone else? Just me? No. Okay. Trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. Night sweats. Terrible, right? That's also why we wake up. We wake up in a puddle of sweat. And then we're like, this is terrible. Also, increased sensitivity to light and sound at night can be a sign. Okay. I bought myself a sleep mask off of Amazon. It was the best $7 I have ever spent. And then creating, a good sleep routine is always advisable. So we also have metabolic and physical changes that can be symptoms or signs that you're in perimenopause. That unexplained weight gain that we talked about, especially around the middle, even though your habits haven't changed. Increased bloating or digestive issues. changes in your cholesterol or your blood sugar levels, even though you're not doing anything different, right? Then loss of muscle tone and increased joint pain. These also can be signs that we are entering perimenopause. And then, of course, the lovely temperature regulation issues. You feel like you're burning from the inside out. So those would be your hot flashes, like sudden heat surges, night sweats, and then feeling cold more often than usual. Okay. So typically we swing from one to the other. We'll have a hot flash and be like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm burning up. And then the next minute we're freezing cold. Okay. So if you're nodding along and thinking, yep, that's me, don't worry. I'm here for you. I got you covered. Let's talk about how to balance estrogen naturally and then help make this transition a little bit smoother. It isn't about shutting down estrogen. It's about helping your body regulate it naturally. Okay, so here are 5 key ways to support estrogen balance holistically. First and foremost, stabilize blood sugar. Okay, fluctuating estrogen makes it harder for your body to regulate blood sugar. So what's the solution? We need to prioritize protein and healthy fat at every single meal. Okay, swap out those refined carbs for fiber-rich whole food sources like root vegetables, beans, lentils, those types of things. Okay, I can't stress this enough. It's not fair. It does suck. But at this time in our lives, we have to cut out the processed carbs unless you want that ring around your midsection. Okay, body is not handling that well right now. Also, I would say learn how to fast with your cycle. Okay, that does not mean practice intermittent fasting the same time every day. Go back and listen to my fasting podcast. I can break that all down for you, but learn in your cycle what you should be doing and how you should be fasting. If you enjoy fasting, you can adopt a more advanced approach. If you're not super crazy about fasting, the only thing you really need to do is about 13 to 15 hours, which is pretty basic, right? Now, the second thing we want to do is we want to support our gut and support the liver. Okay, the liver and the gut work together to metabolize and eliminate excess estrogen. This is what is known as our estrobolome. So if they are sluggish, the gut or the liver, and estrogen recirculates, this becomes an issue. This is also toxic estrogen is what causes cancer in our breasts and in our cervix. Okay, so eat cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and Brussels sprouts because they contain sulforaphane, which helps detoxify that estrogen. And take care of your gut microbiome. Go back and listen to the gut podcast. Hit me up if you have questions, but definitely every day you should be eating fermented foods that contain probiotics and eating lots of fiber-rich foods that are high in prebiotics. Okay? And then we also want to stay hydrated and support our liver with things like dandelion tea and lemon water and castor oil packs. Dry brushing, red light therapy. These are all great ways. Okay? Next, we want to manage stress and cortisol. When stress is high, progesterone goes shy, okay? Remember that. And this makes symptoms worse. So practice breath work and meditation to keep those cortisol levels low. Add adaptogenic herbs like ashwagandha and rhodiola to help manage those things, okay? And then optimize your sleep hygiene. Cool the bedroom, avoid blue light before bedtime, support progesterone levels naturally so that you can get quality sleep. Take magnesium in addition to that nighttime routine, okay? Move smarter, not harder, okay? Your body needs movement, but overtraining can spike cortisol, which right now can make things worse. So I get it. You love CrossFit. You love boxing or kickboxing or running, any high intensity, you love it. It's great for you, okay? But your body might not be loving it. And if you're struggling, you have to look at these things, okay? It doesn't mean that you have to stop forever, but it might mean that you need to stop now. Strength training is really, really important for us going through this time when estrogen is all over the place because we want to maintain good bone density. Okay. Strength training maintains muscle and helps balance our blood sugar. So also don't discredit just walking and using yoga to support yourself, okay? And then sync your workouts with your cycle. You can do those high intensity workouts, but do them at the beginning part of the cycle when your body is trying to keep glucose level. Like, utilize that time to do some high intensity, to do some cardio, to push yourself, okay? But in that manifestation phase, and definitely in the nurture phase, you want to go a little easier. The nurture phase, we want to be resting and relaxing. It's all very, very important, okay? And the more we do that and we honor the rhythm of the body, the more the body will reward us, giving us the look that we want, okay? And then the last thing that we want to do is we want to reduce toxin exposure. So there are a class of chemicals that mimic estrogen and disrupt the balance of your hormones. They are synthetic compounds that mimic estrogen in the body and disrupt the balance. Okay, they're considered what we call endocrine disruptors because they bind to estrogen receptacles and then often overstimulate or block our body's natural hormone function. Okay, this can contribute to estrogen dominance, which is especially problematic during perimenopause, okay? You do not want to have any sort of estrogen issue going into perimenopause or it's going to be worse. So where do we find these, the xenoestrogens, okay? Our personal care products, okay? These types of chemicals are found in parabens, phthalates, and synthetic fragrances that are in all of our lotions, our shampoos, and our deodorants, okay? Plastics, any kind of plastic, and plastic food containers. So BPA, BPS, and other chemicals leach from the plastic bottles and the food packaging into the food, and then you are consuming them. Okay, and remember, when the body faces a toxin, it has to eliminate it. It can't hold on to it. So what's it going to do? Either your body is healthy enough to push it out, or it will store it as fat. Okay, this is what happens. Pesticides and herbicides are also, so glyphosate and other agricultural chemicals act as hormone disruptors in the body. Our household cleaners and air fresheners, okay? Many synthetic fragrances contain phthalates that mimic estrogen. So that includes candles and perfumes. So conventionally scented candles and perfumes almost always contain these synthetic chemicals. So, and then also we want to look at non-organic meat and dairy because those animals are treated with synthetic hormones that can pass through into the food, okay? Now, here's what happens. When we get those types of endocrine disruptors, they worsen PMS and menstrual irregularities. They increase breast tenderness and bloating. They put us at a higher risk for fibroids, endometriosis, and weight gain. Okay, they contribute to mood swings, anxiety, and sleep disturbances, and they exacerbate hot flushes and night sweats. Okay, so what do? We want to switch to clean beauty and skincare products, right? Paraben and phthalate free. Use the Yucca app for that. I think it's fantastic. It gives you lots and lots of information. Use glass, stainless steel, or silicone for your food. Okay, use organic products and hormone-free meats whenever possible. Filter your drinking water to remove contaminants, especially if you live where I live in Northeast Ohio and there's farmland everywhere. You gotta filter the water, guys. Opt for fragrance-free or essential oil-based home products. They clean just as well. I promise you, my kids are sick less than a lot of other kids, and I don't use bleach, I don't use Lysol, I don't use Clorox, none of it. We use Thieves, that's it. Okay, and I use Norwex because I really like their products. Okay, and then of course we want to reduce processed food and avoid soy-based additives. So not organic soy. I want to be very clear when I say this. Okay, genetically modified soy can act as a phytoestrogen, and we need to avoid it. Okay, but non-GMO organic soy is actually quite good for us. Okay. But that's a whole other conversation for another day. So by minimizing these endocrine disruptors, you are supporting hormonal balance and easing the perimenopause transition naturally. Okay. So I want to reiterate, it's not something that we should fear or the beginning of the end. It is a powerful, perimenopause is a powerful recalibration phase where our body shifts towards a new stage of wisdom and resilience. So with the right tools and knowledge, women can transition into menopause feeling vibrant, strong, and in tune with their bodies. But we've got to stabilize that blood sugar. We've got to support gut and liver detoxification. We have to manage stress, and we have to move in alignment with our body so that we can thrive through the transition, not just survive. Okay? I know it's a lot. And I know it's frustrating to be going through this and to feel like you have to learn all of these things because we were never taught. Okay. But that's partially what I'm here for. So when you're listening and we're talking about these things, I'm talking to you and you're listening and you think of things that you want to ask. You think of topics that you want me to discuss. You feel frustrated and you just want to vent. Guys, know I'm here. Okay. I would love to have a conversation with you. And it's not about me picking up clients or having more. It's not about that. It's really, really about empowering you to understand what is going on in your body so that you can make decisions that help support a healthy lifestyle. Okay. So if you found this episode helpful, share it with a friend who needs it. And if you're looking for more resources, hit me up. Let me know what I can do. Let me know how I can help, and I would be more than happy to do so. Until then, be kind, my friends. Be well and cultivate good health. Thank you for joining me on this journey to educate and empower. I hope you found value in what you heard and will come back to listen again. Together, we're going to create a community of women empowered to transform their health. If you're excited to be part of this, please subscribe, leave a review, and share with the other women in your life who need health support tailored to that X chromosome. Until next time, be kind, be well, cultivate your health.